Vols.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch. Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back to Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Ready to do and welcome into more important issues. It is Thursday, Christmas Eve, and you can tell we're festive. We celebrate. Joe's got the pants on. You can't see them. I'm not wearing any pants, so that's how festive I am. If we are without Caleb, he is stuck in Christmas traffic on the interstate, so send him up a prayer real quick that he gets through that. Guys, we got a lot to talk about. Huge win last night in the Tommy Bowl against Arizona, who is undefeated no more. And then we got some we're just going to talk about Fullerson a little bit. That was kind of his game, so let's just have a whole segment dedicated to John Fullerson. And the guy just does not like cats. Or maybe he does like cats, and that makes him play better. I don't know. Whatever it is about cats gets John Fullerson going. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Cedric Tillman's big announcement today of returning. We got some other players that have also announced their plans to return to Tennessee next season. And then we got some Christmas segments going, like favorite stuff. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Just get in the mood. You know, I celebrate Christmas tomorrow. My grandmother's birthday is actually tomorrow. So happy birthday, Grandma. If she probably doesn't watch this, but if she does, there it is. Yeah, we got it in there for her. We'll timestamp it. So let's just get in the spirit already. And then we got some bowl picks. I think we pick up, I guess after tonight, we had picked through tonight maybe. So we'll pick up where we left off on the rest of those bowl picks. Florida's actually playing right now. It was tied 7-7. I'm assuming it still is. Horrible game, ugliest game I've seen so far.
7-6, but Florida just missed a 51-yard field goal. So
nice.
We love to see
that. Yeah, I actually have money on Florida, so I don't love to see it, but also like it's a win-win. If they lose, then it's okay.
Either way it goes.
Yep. And then we got some segments at the end here as well. Let's get right into it. Arizona undefeated no more. Jumped on them early, and then the John Fullerson show happened.
Yeah, it felt like old times, man. That first 16-2, that was just electric, man. If I was there, I was really mad I couldn't be there, but I was just having the best time. It was just I got the booster on whatever a couple days ago, so last night I was just sick as a dog, but that brought me right out of it, and I was ready to go. It was awesome. That was the old Vols basketball I like to watch.
Yeah, and we didn't shoot well, but we just our defense, and when we needed to make a shot, somebody was there to make a shot. And it wasn't just one person. I know John Fullerson had the big game, but Vescovi, Josiah Jordan-James, both of those guys had some big shots. Kenny Chandler had some big moments in there. Olivier had some big blots. So everybody kind of had a role last night. It wasn't like anybody played bad and somebody had to pick up for them. I just thought Tennessee played really well. Started off strong. Arizona, you knew they were a good basketball team. They were going to make a comeback somehow, some way. And, Ben Mathurin is a problem. That dude's good.
Yeah.
But we got him fouled out, and I think that was huge for us. Arizona's in some foul trouble. Just couldn't stop fouling John Fullerson. Just couldn't help themselves. Coloco had a ton of fouls. Their forward Tubeless, something like that. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But he was in foul trouble the majority of the game. I mentioned Mathras, Krissa. I think it's Carr Krissa, something like that. He fouled out as well. So every single one of their starters had at least 4 fouls, and 3 of them fouled out. So, I know we've seen a ton of stuff on Twitter saying, "Oh, the refs screwed Arizona." I mean, the refs didn't have anything to do with y'all going down 16-2. That was all on you guys. I mean, you
Right.
got destroyed in the first
Yeah.
part of that game.
I mean, we're Tennessee fans. We can talk all day about bad officiating, but I mean, bottom line, you had the chance to come back. If you want to call some, but there was obvious fouls that were like, yeah, if you want to call a couple, it didn't. I mean, orange goggles are on, so I didn't see that bad of egregious of calls consistently. But you know what? You lost, so of course you're going to come up with the excuses. But I was most proud to see. Obviously we figured Arizona was going to come back. But I was really proud to see them able to stay ahead of it and stay on top. And every time that Arizona seemed to come back, we seemed to have an answer and was able to just shut them down. So that was what I was really, really glad of.
Yeah, it was huge at the end of the first half when they cut it within 5 points, and then right before the end, Tennessee gets I think 2 3-pointers, and then they get the layup from Kenny Chandler to steal and layup, to go on like an 8-0 run, and that's how we were up 13 at the half. That ended up to be a huge, part in that game. I know Arizona kind of lit it up. They got hot in the second half from 3. There was one where one of their guards shot it over Zakai Ziegler, and it bounced over the higher than the backboard and came down and went in. Like, it was just one of those that just rattled in somehow. And they were just hot from 3, but Tennessee did not give them the lead at any point. At one time, they did tie it late in the second half, but they never did take the lead in the game. And I think that's huge. I mean, Arizona's a really good basketball team. They got some length, they got some size, they got some athleticism. They shot better than Tennessee. I think from everywhere: free throw line, 3-point line, field goal percentage. And the difference in the game was turnovers. They had 17 turnovers. Officials didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah, no, Tennessee's defense just was all over them all night. So luckily we stayed on top of them. It basically just the whole time seemed like they were fighting just to not turn the ball over. It seemed like every time they passed it, there was somebody in orange ready to just almost pickpocket it. And we did that quite a few times. And our points off turnover was huge. That was, again, a big, big factor at the end of the first half. Throughout the rest of the game, when they started coming back, we kept staying on them on defense.
Yeah, I think another big player on this game was Justin Powell. Played 26 minutes, played a lot of small ball because, they're in foul trouble, so we could do it. And then you kind of just spread everybody out and let John Fullerson just play the paint one-on-one. They're inviting John Fullerson to the paint every single time he touched it at the top of the key, which I didn't really understand. I mean, maybe at the start of the game because John Fulgerson's kind of been struggling, so make him earn it. But he was dialed in this game. I don't know in the second half if that would be my go-to, is letting John Fulgerson just have it 10 feet away from the basket.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I definitely think that might have been part of their game plan at first, but after halftime, you have to see that he's actually contributing and looking like old Fulky down there in the paint. So that's dangerous. You get it down there, he's going to do some post moves. He's going to be old Fulky. He's going to smash a couple on you. So, I mean, I was definitely glad to see how well he played. It felt good. Seeing him walk in that locker room after and they drenched him in water, it's like 2019 vibes.
Yeah, it was electric. It was the whole atmosphere. I was a little worried about 5 minutes before, I was in my seat and there wasn't a lot of people down in the lower bowl. I'm like, where's everybody at? I guess they were kind of late getting to the beer line, or that was holding people up. I don't know what it was, but it did fill up pretty quick within that 5-minute mark. And, it was just a loud atmosphere. I mean, that was the first time I've been in there since 2019. And it was just a fun atmosphere to be a part of. I'm sorry to kind of rub it in your face a little bit because I know you wanted to be there, but it was a lot of fun to be a part of that. And the crowd was great. You saw the coaches and players kind of thank Vol Nation for, being loud. And, I'm sure that played a hand in Arizona early in the game, coughing the ball up and stuff like that. So, I don't have a lot that I'm just like, that needs to happen. I would like to see Justin Powell play a bit more. And maybe not more than 26 minutes, but I'd like to see him get more touches, be more a part of that offense. Because, dude, he's so smooth, and his shot is just perfection. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's just when you get the ball, you've got this sense and feeling that it's like it's gonna go. It's just drained. I mean, it at least feels
yeah.
like it. So I
Yeah,
do love.
he's a guy that every time he shoots it, that other team kind of cringes a little bit. You're like,
Right.
oh, yeah. That's how I was with Matherin. Every time he touched it, I was like, oh god. Yeah, what a game from Tennessee, and didn't have Olivier didn't have a huge game offensively, but man, those couple blocks that he had were huge. I mean, they lit a fire under this team, and that's what you need, just a complete team effort from this team against a quality opponent at home. The student section wasn't full because people were going home for Christmas, but it was rocking last night, so it was a lot of fun to see just those different kind of plays, the alley oops, the blocks, there was a ton of it, ton of highlights. I think there was 3 minutes and 20 seconds worth that um, the basketball account tweeted out today. So a lot of highlights in this game against, two top 20 programs.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole debacle with Memphis really got Vols fans riled up, and they filled out and showed out, and they did their job. They got that place rowdy, and I mean, you'd be dumb to deny that at least had some effect on Arizona. I think, especially in the beginning of the game when we just kept scoring and stealing it, that crowd was making it only harder for them to gather and come back and really be able to. I mean, they obviously figured it out eventually, but that crowd definitely plays a huge factor.
I know Memphis was watching that game and just like, thank God we didn't play that game. Especially like when we were up 16-2, they're just like, oh God, whew, dodged a bullet there. Because, you know, as I went in, like they were playing, John Fullerson led the crowd in caroling. He was doing some of that. They were playing his playlist on Spotify. It just looked like he just had that look in his eye. I actually tweeted it or like typed it out. And I deleted it. I was like, no, because that's going to be used against me later, so I'm not going to do it. But man, he did. And I don't know what it is about the Wildcats, but John Fulkerson turns it on for whatever reason against any kind of Wildcats, Arizona, Kentucky, whoever.
Yeah. The one thing that I'll say that, I mean, maybe I didn't notice it before, but like that really just like made me feel good is like you said, Kamwa, Kenny Chandler, that they didn't show out necessarily, especially to Kennedy Chandler's typical, his averages, but he still seemed to be always there in the game. He was always still making plays for a team effort. So yeah, I mean, he was 2 for 14 from the field. Olivia Kamwa was 1 for 5, but they still seemed to be very involved in the game and making the right moves, whether it was on defense or just making the right assists or the passes that just, it wasn't like, oh, they're just, not part of the team or not, affecting the game in any way.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what it takes to, have depth in March when it comes around, because if you don't have, you might not be on that game, but you still need to be able to contribute. And that's what we saw last night, which gives me a little bit more confidence.
Yeah, because it seems like the past couple games, it's like if we struggle from three, that's it. We're
Right.
screwed. But I felt like last night we were aggressive. We got to the free throw line more than I think we've had all season, shooting 27 free throws, only making 18 of those. So you definitely want to pick that up some. I think they shot the same percentage we did. They only shot 18 free throws. But still, when you get to the line, you got to capitalize on that, especially if you're not shooting well from outside. The points got to come from somewhere. And so those are easy buckets that we can't let pass up.
Yeah, I would still like to see Vescovi maybe have. I'm not even going to say he has bad shot selection from the three. I mean, he went 3 for 12 last night. And I mean, obviously, I'll take 3 threes any day. I mean, even if he can start knocking down 3 more, if he went 6 for 12 last night, that's money. He's got so many open looks, and he's able to find those looks because he's such a shooter. And, obviously I don't know if he's in a cold spell, but he just doesn't seem to be knocking down as many as I think he could. But ever since that Texas Tech game, I think I've seen everyone take smarter shots. And like, that was the only thing I would say about last night is there was a couple shots where I was like, dude, you just missed 2 in a row. And that's probably not the best look. Like we seem to have better better options. But he seems to make them when you need them, and that's the important part. So there was a couple clutch shots from him that were really important.
Yeah, he's it seems like he makes the ones that are the toughest.
Right, exactly.
The step back three, he's got somebody, he's, almost at half court, chuck it up one, and it, nothing but net. But those wide open ones seems to be giving him the most trouble. I don't know what it is, but I mean, he's definitely got the green light for me. 3 for 12. You'd like to see a better average than that, but I mean, how can you really say anything? Because those shots that he made were, in critical times in that game. So, you tell him don't shoot, and then when you need one of those to go in, he's looking elsewhere. So,
right.
I do like it seems like he was a bit more passive in the past. Maybe taking those shots, so maybe he shoots his way out of this little slump that he's got. I was Josiah Jordan James. He worries me every time he shoots it because I feel like it's so inconsistent. Now he shot better last night. He was 2 for 6, so a lot better average than it has been. But again, like those two he made were in huge moments.
Right.
So definitely love to see. We got that clutch gene. You definitely like that. Coming in March. Didn't see Brandon Hundley Hatfield a lot. Didn't see Urosh only but 10 minutes. He did have 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 of those offensive. So, kind of made his impact in the game a little bit. But yeah, we just kind of played mostly small ball, or I think they kind of had to as well when Koloko was in foul trouble, and their 6'11" guy, I forget how you say his name. He was in foul trouble in the first half, so they had to kind of get somebody in for him. I mean, whoever was on Fullerson just couldn't guard him. I mean, they had no answer. He was either scoring or he was getting to the free throw line, one or the other.
Yeah. Now, when Fulky's in his prime, there's not many people in the country that are going to be able to. I mean, that might be an aggressive statement, but when Fulky's feeling it, he's feeling it. That's going to be hard to get in front of him and stop him from making those turnarounds in the paint and posting up on you.
I mean, I would hate to play against John Fulker. He's always on the ground. He's always falling around. He's bony. I'm sure he digs his elbows and things into you. It just wouldn't. I wouldn't love it. And you could tell it really bothered Arizona last night, and might have been the difference in the game.
Yeah. One last thing about Vescovi that, like, I know it's such a small part in the game, but I really loved it was when I think it was Vescovi. It was the beginning of the game when he was kind of like, just a little too quick with the ball and was a little careless, and he got stolen from him. But that most situations when that guy's 5 steps ahead of you, and especially when they're quick like that and they're already moving down the court, but he chased him down, he basically jumped on the ball, like swung in front of him, pulled for the ball, and we ended up getting it in the possession. But that was just those are those little things that, like, I don't know if it was the place bumping, but that's just that team effort that, like, don't give up until that ball is literally through the net, because you never know if you're going to get a foul or you're going to jump on it, whatever happens. But that was just a little moment that really made me feel good about that.
Yeah, and it was they ended up getting a foul on that play, but really Vescovi dove on the ball, which was good on his part, and he kind of took the legs out of the Arizona defender, and the guy fell on top of him. So they called a foul on him, but I guess it just I would have been mad if it was reversed, but hey, that's why you hustle. That's why you play the game.
Right. I was just looking for a jump ball there. Yeah, I agree with you on that foul call. It just seemed kind of like a tumble instead of but it was just that position where he's on the ground and it looks like he's falling on top of him trying to pull the ball out. So, I mean,
right.
Just a bad.
That's kind of all I got. Guys, if y'all have any questions, feel free to get those in the chat. We got Dub himself said Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, man. It's good to be here. Hope you all have a Merry Christmas, you and your family. Wish you all the best. Do y'all have a big Christmas, you and your family?
Yeah, for the most part. So, like, most of my family's in Knoxville, but then I'm up in Philly right now with my dad. So when we do stuff up here, we get, like, my brother's coming in from LA, my other brother's coming in from Knoxville. So we do a pretty big Christmas, and then I get to do basically double Christmas because I do it in Knoxville before I leave. So I got all my family down there, so that's always nice. As much family as possible. Get to
there you go.
Christmas festivities, the movies, all the fun stuff.
Food.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Desserts. Yeah. Love it. Let's talk about John Fullerson a little bit. I know we talked about him some, but 24 points, 10 rebounds. I mentioned he got to the free throw line. It was just his game. He had that look in his eye come game time, and he was that old Fulky that we have been. It was that old Fulky that he was a first team All SEC player. It was old Fulky that went to Rupp Arena and just dismantled Kentucky a couple years ago.
Yeah, I know we earlier in the season worried a little bit. He didn't, seem to be himself, at least just seemed to be struggling in the parts that he normally succeeds really well in. But last night, whatever snapped, and it felt so good. He just seemed natural. He seemed confident. He felt like old Fulky. He had the personality going. You could just tell he was playing with that kind of smirk and smile, and it was just really good to see. And I hope that he can contain that and keep it going for the rest of the season, especially as we get into conference play. That's going to be huge. We play some pretty good teams, especially Alabama coming up. You're going to have to, even though they seem to be sliding a little bit, that's John Fulkerson is going to be equally a key in that game, if not more, as he was in Arizona.
Yeah, absolutely. And they don't have, they got Badacco, something like that. He's a freshman. They have a little bit of size, but not like they don't have two guys like Arizona that are around 7 foot. I think they have just one guy. I think he's 6'10", 6'11". But they play a lot of small ball. They want to shoot the three, kind of similar to how Tennessee goes. But I will say Tennessee is going to make them earn everything, and that's with every team. I mentioned it, I think, on Sunday. I was like, yeah, Arizona's scoring 88 points per game. They're not getting anywhere close to 80.
Right.
Or 88 for that. I mean, they're not getting anywhere close to that. I mean, they got 73, which is more than a lot of teams have gotten. But they also had a guy that went off for 28 points. And the game was kind of slowed down a little bit because of, them getting in foul trouble and things like that. There's a lot more free throws, a lot more stoppage in play. But yeah, a lot of teams are going to struggle. So if they play that fast kind of basketball, Tennessee plays that, smothering defense, does that affect them? It seemed to affect Arizona, at least for the first half. Do we see that same effect in Tuscaloosa on Wednesday night? It's a 9:00 tip-off. That's way too late. That's dumb.
Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah. Those are the worst games, like midweek games at 9:00. I'm like, how do you expect people to really go to that? Right. Now I know it's different. Alabama, I'm sure they're in the Central Time, so it'll be 8:00 Central Time. But yeah, the ones that I don't know how many Tennessee has at 9:00, but those are the worst kind of games to try to get to in the middle of the week.
Yeah, it seems harder to get the energy up too. I don't know why. I think some people go in there with the notion that they got work tomorrow, and it's just, well, you're off the next day, or like at least got like Christmas coming up. I mean, hell, that was probably half the energy in Thompson Bowling. It's just like, if you got to go to work, got to wake up at 6 a.m. the next day, it's not fun.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah, not a big fan. Yeah, John Fulkerson, man, what a game from him. Hopefully we see him continue to build on that, be more consistent, because I think that could really take Tennessee. I think it took a lot of pressure off everybody else. Kenny Chandler, didn't have the game that we expect him to have, but he also didn't really have to. He was the primary ball handler. He had a bunch of steals, bunch of assists. So I mean, again, there's nothing really for me to really complain about except for when you get to the free throw line, gotta make those. I would like for Tennessee to put teams away. That'd be good for my mental health and my physical health. But
for sure,
we won, so I'm good.
Yeah, I hope that when Fulkerson leaves, I hope that they can give him a seat as close to the bench on the floor as they can, because his energy is just like too exciting. He's such a hype man that, like, yeah, he's gone, but just get him a seat right there behind the bench and just let him wear like commemorative jersey and just turn up. Like, I mean, he'll sneak past a little bit, get on the floor or something, but that would be great.
I love when he walks into the locker room and he notices they're all waiting on him. He's like, oh.
Hi. I miss those clips, man. The locker room clips.
Yeah.
Those
are a lot of fun. Yeah. Also, I think my favorite 3 celebration. I know a lot of people like the arrow thing. Dude, I'm a big fan of the Vescovi arm bite.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things. Every time he hit one, he only hit what? He hit 3 last night.
Yeah.
Every time he did it, I bought it. I just love that celebration.
I like that.
That's kind of all I got for Arizona. Again, Tennessee will be back in action on Wednesday against Alabama in Tuscaloosa to start off SEC play. And I don't know what they're ranked or what they'll be ranked, but I know that Memphis lost. They lost to Dayton. This team, that team's going to be hungry to get a win, especially starting off SEC play. You know, they don't like us. We don't like them. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. I'm sure they'll be shooting the lights out like they always do against us. There's just something about it. I don't get it. But
yeah, talking about rankings, dude, where do you see Tennessee, landing after you think it takes a big effect, or with all college basketball around? Where do you think Tennessee lands at? They were 19 prior.
Yeah, I mean, I think around 15.
Yeah, that was the number I had in my head.
Yeah, I think you definitely should move up some. If you don't move up, something's flawed with the system.
Right. No.
But yeah, I think around 15. I think if you prove you can be consistent, beat Alabama on the road, I think that's another big win that you'll probably see Tennessee jump up after that as well. So
yeah.
Let's go to football.
Let's do it.
Got some bowl practice in. We play in a week. Man, that's
crazy.
It's weird. It sucks. It's on a Thursday, but whatever. I mean, we're in a bowl game, so I can't be that mad.
All right.
And it's like at what? 4 o'clock?
3, I think.
3 o'clock?
Yeah, it's a weird time. It's like mid-afternoon.
Yeah. Definitely tough to get there after work. I am taking a half a day that day, but I'm just going to watch it because I was like, after lunch, I'm not going back to work.
No.
I'm going to be worthless anyway, so you don't want me to work.
Right.
Yeah, so they've been practicing. They got some big news today from wide receiver Cedric Tillman announcing he is going to return next season to Tennessee along with Hendon Hooker. I mean, that's your top, your leading wide receiver, a guy that's, kind of was a late bloomer in this program. Was it him that, he just turned it on this year? Or was it, previous staff just couldn't tap into that potential? I don't know. But guy had 8 catches coming into the season. And this year he has 9 touchdowns. So,
yeah,
whatever it was, I'm glad we finally found it. He's going to come back another year and hopefully build on that. 69 yards away from 1,000. Nice. Would love to get him to that number. I don't know when's the last time we actually had a 1,000-yard receiver. I know Josh Malone was close. I know Jawan Jennings was close, but neither one of those guys got there. So I guess it would have to be like Justin Hunter and those guys.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it would have to be.
Yeah,
around then. So definitely want to get him to 1,000. 57 catches on the year, 931 yards, 9 touchdowns. A lot of those, he had 200 yards against Georgia. I mean, I was just done against some of the best competition. Had over 100 yards against Alabama at 152. He's had actually 3 games in a row where he's had at least 100 yards against Georgia, South Alabama, and Vanderbilt. And I think he's had a touchdown in the last 5 games. 5 games in a row.
Yeah, he's just a dog. It's a huge piece to get back. I know we talked about it a couple episodes ago, anticipating that would be the move. But it's huge. It gets a little bit more confidence. Obviously, there's some rapport there. We've got Hooker who's come back, and that connection right there solely is gonna be pretty electric. We have that confidence is already built. They already know what routes they like to run. They like to, they got each other's mojo down. So I think next year, that's going to be probably one of the biggest key connections on the field is going to be Hooker to Tillman.
Yeah, that just seems the guy that Hooker's most confident in. He does the deep balls well, and Cedric Tillman goes up and gets it. He's the best at least on the team at doing that, and probably one of the better ones in the country of doing that. It seems like Tennessee always has one guy that can go up and get it over everybody. Maybe they just keep passing it down. So I don't know who will be after Cedric Tillman. Maybe it's Caleb Webb. Maybe it's somebody else, but we always seem to have that one guy that can just go up and get those 50-50 balls. And that's been Cedric Tillman this season. So I think that's huge. And it's also huge to get the majority of your offense back. At least 4 out of the 5 starters on your offensive line will be back. Your starting running back, Jabari Small. Your 2 tight ends will be back, who they mentioned earlier this week. Princeton Fant and Jacob Warren are returning. And then you have Cedric Tillman. So you replace maybe a tackle. We'll see if Cade Mays, decides to stay. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. It's just a weird situation. I know his brother's here, and I feel like that could sway him from, the NFL, but I just think it's kind of a no-brainer to me to go ahead and go. But, if he wants to come back, we'll welcome him with open arms. I'm sure he'll make some NIL money here. I don't know if I know he mentioned that he wanted to get that 3rd to 5th round money with NIL deals. I just don't know if that's going to happen. It could,
Yeah.
I guess. But, I mean, you're talking about over $1 million.
Right.
Because you get $1 million signing bonus, I think, and then you get, whatever that compensation is for where you get drafted at. So, yeah, I don't know if you're making that, but VFL from Knoxville, his brother's still here, so I'm sure that's, that could sway him this way. We'll see. But yeah, you could lose a tackle, and then you lose 2 wide receivers in Bayless Jones and Javonte Payton. Other than that, everybody's back.
Yeah, which is huge because with a team like this, as much as we talked about, obviously we got pretty paper thin roster. We're going to need as much experience and want as much experience back as we can have. Whether it's just ball experience in general or already knowing the playbook or knowing what Hypo likes to run. So being able to build off of what we have this year and not being able to have to having a new slate is one thing, but having a new slate of players when you're already in a new position with a new coach and basically have wiped and restarted your whole roster and team is already difficult. So I'm glad that that's one key that we're going to be able to build off of because there's a lot of games and situations this year where it's thinking like, if you just have like a little bit more experience, or if we just have, like, it's close enough that it's like that next year, I feel a lot more confident going into these games with the same players on the field that, saw it last year and know what they can do to change it differently.
Yeah, it just feels good to have, especially with this transfer portal and the way that it is. It's just good to have this stability, like you were talking about on this roster with, your offense, and that's a big part of Josh Heupel and what he wants to implement with this team. You have some time to kind of build up the guys you're bringing in this year. This is your first recruiting class, getting guys in here that that you actually recruited, mixed in with some of these veterans that have been here for a while, guys that know the ropes, know the program, understand the culture. I just think it's nice to not really have to start all over. You kind of have that that foundation already set, and then you add in some recruits, some transfers, and just kind of build around that. I think it's huge for this program.
Yeah, it only makes me more confident for that Florida game at Neyland. I've been thinking about it every time I see some news pop up. I'm damn so excited for that game.
Yeah, I'm excited for that game. I'm also excited for the road trip to LSU.
Yes.
That's going to be so much fun as well. Yeah, those are definitely the 2 games that I'm looking forward to next season. We'll see what happens. But it's weird. Everything just seems to be going right. It makes me a little nervous. I
know.
Tennessee PTSD, but it just seems like things are going in the right direction.
Yeah, it feels refreshing to be like semi-confident in something that's going on in the past couple of years. Just with everything that's going on, it's just been a little rough. So I mean, like you say, just be cautious. I don't want to get too ahead of myself and start thinking everything's all jolly in the world. And
15-0,
right? Yeah, I mean, why not? Let's just
or 14-0. What can you go? 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 15. Yeah.
13, 14. Okay. But I don't know. I mean, I feel good about it. I feel good. I mean, obviously we have the whole offseason to see what happens, and who knows. Tennessee's we're the one people that understand an offseason can do a lot of damage or a lot of good. But let's just hope that things stay steady on this track and we keep rebuilding and head in the positive direction.
Absolutely.
But you're right. The pieces do seem like they're working towards that.
Yep. And I also mentioned Princeton Fant and Jacob Warren announced they're coming back. Princeton Fant had 13 catches, 149 yards, and a touchdown. And then Jacob Warren has 18 catches, 179 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had a total of 7 catches in his 2 years prior to this season at Tennessee. So definitely a big boost in production from those two guys, and guys that, again, have been there, been through it, and just seems like more of a focal point of this offense is to get the tight ends involved. For whatever reason, we just couldn't figure it out under Jim Chaney.
Right.
And before that, too, it just seems like after Ethan Wolf, we had no clue how to utilize a tight end.
Right. Which has definitely changed. I mean, you talk about, seeing action across the board and just being able to move people around better. I'm not sure if it was just because this year and this season they were kind of forced to. They were in the spot that it was like, you weren't used properly before, but now you kind of have to step up in this role, or if Heupel and the guys are just really good at, finding players' strengths and putting them in, setting them up for success in that best effort. But I would hope that the latter of the two is what's more likely, and that transitions into the recruiting class coming in, to the transfers, to people new to the program, and they're able to find what might not be obviously like looked at by their highlights or their rankings.
Yeah, for sure. Some other kind of team news there. Salome Page is also another guy, linebacker for Tennessee, that announced that he's using his extra year and returning to Tennessee as well. Then you have Florida transfer offensive lineman Gerald Mincy is, he kind of committed without telling anybody. He was on a visit to Tennessee, and apparently he is a take. He is with the team, and everything like that. So he could definitely be a guy that utilizes this extra time to practice with the team, and then come spring practice can really push for a starting job if Cade Mays does end up leaving. And even if he does, I think Cade Mays is probably going to be a guard anyway. So in the NFL, so they would probably like to move Cade Mays in if that's how they get their best 5. So definitely not out of the question if Cade Mays does return. But another offensive line, can't have enough of them. Florida transfer that is already with the team already. So, and then you got Alex Golish. Apparently was offered the OC job at Ole Miss after Jeff Lebby went to be the OC at Oklahoma, and he declined. He's staying. Again, everything just keeps going right. We're getting everybody back. We're preparing to go to Atlanta.
I'm just watching all the Florida players leave the field. Everyone's getting middle fingers from UCF fans. This is awesome.
What's the score?
10-9 UCF.
10-9.
Yeah.
How did it get 10-9?
It was 7-6. So 2 field goals. So it's 10-9.
So who's winning?
UCF. Is it 10-9? Maybe I just saw that wrong. Let me check.
Because if it was 7-6,
yeah,
how did they get to 10?
UCF had 6.
It's 10-9 Florida.
Correct. Yes,
okay.
Sorry, not UCF. Sorry.
Okay.
Florida was the one that okay.
I was like, dude, how did they get 4 points?
Yeah, they got a 2 safeties.
Good Lord. Emory Jones is throwing the game and just running out of the back of the end zone.
Sorry, that was a whole cluster.
It's so weird to me that he's already in the transfer portal and is playing in this game. I'm like,
I know. How are you supposed to go in and
he's also 9 for 22, so not a great tryout if you ask me.
Right.
Then you also got some it doesn't have to do with Tennessee currently, but it will next year with the transfer portal. Keaton Slovis, the USC quarterback transfer, has announced he's transferring to Pitt. So Tennessee will probably, I assume he'll probably be the starter after Kenny Pickett leaves. And that's probably the reason why they took him. And we'll face Tennessee week 2 of next season at Pitt. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. I know they were one of the oldest teams in college football this season. So I don't know, I'm not scared. It just is something to really look toward and maybe, put some doubt in that record prediction maybe for Tennessee fans. I know they're, chalking that up as a win next season with Kenny Pickett leaving, and it probably still is. But, Keaton Slovis, proved that he can, win a starting job at USC, beat out JT Daniels, and now he's headed to Pitt.
Yeah, when I looked at the home and home beforehand, before we played the game and before I saw, Pitt obviously go on to win the championship, ACC championship, I definitely wasn't as worried as I might be now. Mm-hmm. So it's certainly more of a factor going into, like you said, record predictions before the season and seeing how that plays out, especially because it won't be in Knoxville. So that'll be interesting. And I want to keep your eyes on.
Yeah, and then Jahmyr Gibbs, the Georgia Tech transfer, is headed to Alabama. Of course, the rich get richer. Good Lord. Yeah. I get it. I can't be mad at a kid for wanting to go win a national title, but it's so annoying. I'm done with this dynasty. Why can't this one die? I know the Clemson one's dying. Why can't this one die?
Yeah. I guess one at a time. Try to take what we can get, but I feel you on that. Yeah. I think most fans would feel the same there.
And it's kind of weird. They've always had bigger backs. I know he's more of an all-purpose back, so I know he probably fits this offense more, but it's just it's just different, I guess, for me to think of Alabama having a smaller back. And maybe they, again, you kind of have to have 2 backs in this day and age, and maybe he just fits that mold as one of their guys, especially on third down. But it just sucks that he probably ends up at Tennessee if Jeremy Pruitt isn't a defensive coach and wants him to play corner instead of running back. Which, again, the fact that he's going to Alabama wants to take him as a running back, and Jeremy Pruitt is, wanted this kid to play corner, just shows that he should never be allowed to be a head coach again.
Yeah,
just trash. Absolute trash.
Garbage.
That's kind of all I got for football. Again, I'm excited. I'm excited for I know we're going to break down Purdue a little bit more, but their guys, they have some guys that are going to be out. Their defensive end, their wide receiver. Caden Mays probably will not play in this game. I know Josh Heupel kind of left that up. He kind of day-to-day, we'll see where he's at come game day. But I would think leaning more toward no. So, and then Alontae Taylor's out. So they're our best corner, our best tackle, their best defensive end, their best receiver. So it's pretty even to me. So we'll see kind of where things end up. Pass heavy. Our DBs have to be better than they have all season, or O'Connell's going to tear us apart.
Yeah, the loser either way is going to go with that. Obviously, we were without, us here, Bell.
100% I'm playing that card if we lose.
Right, exactly. All day, but I'm assuming Purdue fans will say, "Oh, well, we didn't have Bell and Karlaftis," or however you say it. So, this. It's just natural. But I think you're right. If you look at it, it's basically an even matchup in terms of players lost for the next season or for bowl games or whatever.
Weren't we a 3-point underdog? Now we're like a 4-point favorite. Is that all Tennessee fans just having that much faith in this team?
I guess. I think a good bit of it does go off just total energy around fall football. I mean, whatever. But
hey, we'll take it. Whatever.
Yeah.
We got a 3-hour drive to Nashville. I don't know how far Purdue is, but it's definitely farther than 3 hours. So maybe that takes into account. I don't know. We didn't have good luck with the basketball team traveling to Nashville. So, I know we're going to talk about. I want to talk about the SEC a little bit and what's trending, but let's get to bowl picks.
All right.
Let me see where we are at.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we did leave off with the Florida game, and then, these two slate today, and then.
Let me see.
I'm gonna go ahead and bring Caleb in for these picks.
What is up, fellas?
Caleb.
He's mobile.
I'm dark. I'm mobile. So I'm gonna do picks with y'all, and then I'm gonna get off for. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna get off after picks, but I'm gonna go ahead and give my stupidity. It is me thinking I could make it anywhere during Christmas season on time. Traffic on 81, traffic on 40, traffic on 75. Whew, it's been a day. And this is the first time I've brought my dog. So we're obviously family we stay with often. So that's been kind of a trip. So I had to get him settled in. So I'm an idiot. But
hey,
yeah.
It's a season to be jolly.
Cedric Tillman, by the way. Heck yeah. Landon called it. He spoke it into existence.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what you got to do with everything.
And I also did some I did some show stuff while you all were talking about 1,000-yard receivers. Justin Hunter was the last one in 2012, Landon. Great pool.
Wow.
Awesome.
Malone had 972, which I think is pretty close to where Tillman's at right now.
Yeah, Tillman's at 931.
9.
He needs 69 more yards.
Let's get it. Nice.
I was about to say, I was waiting on it. Caleb, I do want to ask you, me and Joe were talking about it. Everything's kind of going right for this football program. Is it scary?
Yeah. So I feel like we're like the ice is forming on the cliff. We're just waiting on a nice avalanche to knock it off. So it's getting big.
Hey, Josh hope maybe going to get a board and ride that sucker down.
That'd be nice.
Mike Eckler will definitely do it. He'll probably body surf it all the way down.
Mike Eckler will probably be the one that causes it from his excitement. So unfortunately,
headbutt something.
Right, love it.
I saw on Twitter where he did 22 reps of 225 as his cool down after his workout.
Yeah, I mean that's how I cool down. You don't.
I was like, what? I was like, oh my gosh, this man did a full NFL combine for his cool down.
He's nuts. He's insane.
Yeah, his story of him doing a marathon on the side of the interstate, kind of getting pulled over by the cops, is hilarious.
Live for it.
But yeah, let's get into these picks real quick. I think we both picked. Did we both pick Florida, Caleb?
Yeah, we settled on Florida interim coach. So we both went that route. What is the score right now? I haven't.
It's 10-9 Florida right now. I'm pretty sure Florida's just moving the ball with ease. I know they missed a field goal, and they also went for it on fourth down, and it hit the Florida receiver right in the chest, and he dropped it. So
who's this? Who's starting at quarterback?
Emory Jones, who is also in the transfer portal.
What?
Yeah, apparently, he wanted to play. He wanted to finish what he started, but this will be his last game in a Florida uniform.
I respect that. Finish the season. I respect that.
Yeah,
I'm shocked. The coach. I'm shocked the coach is letting you.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. It's like, dude, if you're leaving, why? Shouldn't you be trying to get somebody else that will be here?
Yeah. No,
next year?
I agree. I think it's cool though. In the age where you have guys leaving for the draft and they're not playing that bowl game. And we talked about this. I like Mike Leach's comments. It's bigger than you. I get you. You got to look out for yourself. But you are a part of the team. So you had a commitment to the team. So I respect that. No, as much I hate to say that about a Florida player, but I do respect that.
Yeah, it's just weird to me in this day and age, like you said.
Right. Right.
But he's also 9 for 22 so far, so not a great showing.
Yeah. Maybe should have went home.
Yeah, not impressing a ton of teams. We had Miami, Ohio beat North Texas. We both got that one right. Tomorrow,
Go Mac.
not tomorrow. That is, we do have some games tomorrow. Sorry, it's going through all the ones that have already been played. Tomorrow we have Georgia State, Ball State.
No, wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's Chris.
Tomorrow we have Memphis, Hawaii.
Yeah.
At 8:00 in the Easy Point Hawaii Bowl.
I got home field advantage. Hawaii. Give it to me.
Okay.
Aloha.
See,
I'm going Memphis.
Yeah, I think Hawaii plus 9.5 is such an easy pick to me in my mind that like I just know that Vegas knows more than me, so I would just go Memphis here just for no reason. But
yeah, I like that. Also, like, what kind of effect does COVID have? Since pretty much all Memphis has it.
Oh,
apparently,
that's fair. Maybe they know something we don't.
Maybe, I don't know.
Rick
Maybe that gives them a boost. They get that booster and they're ready to go. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Saturday, Christmas Day, Georgia State, Ball State in the Tax Act Camilla Bowl.
What a name. What if I can? I'm going Ball State just because I hate Georgia State so much and I'll never bet on them. So
yeah, I'm gonna go Georgia State. They beat Tennessee, so they're probably gonna beat Ball State.
Give me Georgia State.
Okay.
I feel like we picked that game though. I feel like we picked that game, did we not?
Yeah, I think we did get a little ahead of
maybe
ourselves.
Maybe we can't read.
I think we stopped after these because we were talking about Western Michigan and Nevada. I think we stopped at this one.
Gotcha.
But I guess that's all we need to do because Sunday we'll be back.
Well, it was a great pick segment. I love it.
2 games.
That's awesome.
Round.
What are the Titans doing right now? What's the score of that game?
It is 7-0 Niners.
Oh gosh. Hey, I think Debo caught the touchdown though, and he's on my fantasy team, so that's good.
Oh, that's cool.
No, it was Wilson Jr. ran it in.
Dang. I guess Debo had a long catch. I got an update about it. I know that. So
yeah, he did have a 30-something yard catch or something.
Gotcha. Before I sign off here, guys, I did get a Christmas gift from the lady early. She let me open it today. It's a bidet, and I'm very excited about having just the cleanest butthole on this podcast.
What does it look like?
It's like I didn't open it, and it just had it on the toilet seat, but it's got like a little handle, I guess, where you set the pressure and like strength of it.
Okay.
And then I think it runs up, like it obviously connects to your water line. I think it like runs up kind of underneath the toilet seat, sort of, and sits like on the like where it can access your butthole easy.
I mean, my brother's got one of those and he swears on it. So I mean,
I've heard great things.
How much is a bidet? That's what I want to know.
Well, we put a gift limit of like $50 on a few gifts because we're saving for a trip. Okay. And she got me 3 or 4, so it can't be too expensive. But she did say she went a little over $50. So,
we'll see how long it lasts. $20. A bidet's only $20.
Yeah. I think you can get like nice ones because I remember when I started.
I don't even know how to spell a bidet.
Don't ask me. Just Amazon like.
Budeia.
It's BIDETS. Is how you.
Wow, that's incredibly easy.
There's one that's $2,000.
Dude, I bet that can clean a butt. Like, I bet there's no doubt about that.
Dude, that better shave it for me.
Do you shave your butthole?
No, but I mean, I'd like this. Never mind. I'm getting out all this topic.
All right, boys. Well, I'm going to go finish unloading the car. I just got the dog unloaded, so I got more to do. And then I'm going to eat dinner because I'm starving. So, loved it. Right. Merry Christmas to you two and Christmas. The listeners. Take it easy. Go Vols.
Go Vols.
Go Vols. Merry Christmas.
All right, let's get into what's trending. Actually, no, Christmas. I forgot.
Quick shift.
Christmas spirit.
From buttholes to Christmas. Let's go.
3 favorite Christmas desserts. We'll go back and forth. You go one, I'll go one. You go first.
On the top, cherry cobbler.
Oh, okay.
That's just what came to mind first. If I'm like, someone makes something, I really want it. It's never failed me, cherry cobbler.
I like the Oreo balls dipped in white chocolate. I think they called deer poop or different stuff, but that stuff is bust.
Let's see. There's my grandma makes it's like this apple fritter cake. So it's kind of like apple pie, but not really. Like it's an actual cake. But then
Okay.
like the sauce she puts on it is like pie filling. That should honestly be number one in case, I get caught saying that, but that's gonna be my number two.
Okay. My next one is Thumbprint Cookies. Can't go wrong with those.
No.
Heaters.
I don't even know. I would say maybe have you had Pizookie before?
Huh, what's that?
Like a hot chocolate chip cookie with like ice cream on top.
Oh.
You can make them like individual servings, and those are fire. So that's gonna be my third one.
Okay. I didn't know that's what that was called, but
I guess pizza cookie, Pizookie. That's just what I'm sure there's different names. That's just what we always call it.
Yeah, I used to do that in college. That would be my go-to dessert. Would just a hot cookie that just came out of the oven. Throw some ice cream on that thing.
Yeah.
And throw down.
Move. Oh.
My next one. I love anything strawberry. Like anything strawberry makes me want to bite my lip. Like I love strawberry stuff. But I can't really think of anything like Christmassy with strawberry. Like I love strawberry cake. Like strawberry cake that's my go-to dessert. I like banana pudding too. I'll probably go. I'll go strawberry cake. I don't even think we will have it at my Christmas, but if they did, that'd be the first thing I'd take off the plate.
Okay, I like that.
Screw the ham and whatever else. I want freaking strawberry cake.
Deal.
I don't even eat sweets really, but I love me some strawberry stuff.
Yeah. Did you ever drink strawberry milk? Are you one of those people?
In like elementary school?
Yeah, I mean, when they have those little strawberry milk.
Sure.
Oh God. I have bad.
And it wasn't even that great. Like looking back on them, like that should taste like Pepto.
Yeah.
But maybe that's why I like it so much. I'm like, man, that strawberry like wasn't good. And then I had something like that was actual strawberry. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. That's probably that. That's probably what it is.
Yeah. Favorite Christmas dinner, like what do y'all have for Christmas? Do y'all have like the same thing you have for Thanksgiving?
No, we do turkey legs for Thanksgiving just because it's easier. We smoke them. They're just way better than like.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm not like a crazy turkey person. Just like normal old fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
We do ham for Christmas typically, but we'll do a whole bunch of stuff. We'll get the ham. We'll get the mac and cheese. We'll get the casserole stuff out. We'll do the typical Christmas shenanigans food.
So let's go favorite sides with just like that Christmas food that you get.
All right, I'm going mac and cheese. The 4-layer cheese mac and cheese with the breadcrumbs. It's not. You're not eating it. I don't care what you put on my plate.
Yeah, that's my favorite food of all time. I don't care. I'll admit that. I love me some Sister Schubert rolls.
Oh, the center roll. You got to get the center one.
Yeah.
That's where it's at, dude. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say some sort of bread for my next one, but Sister Schubert rolls they're unbeatable.
I'm going to the gym tomorrow morning just so I can eat that.
Yeah.
So I can eat a crap ton of them.
Yeah, I typically eat like the whole tin that comes out the aluminum pan. So I mean, I'm gonna need to be in the gym for 3 or 4 hours to even.
Yeah. Put a dent in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many good sides. I'll probably put I don't even know. So if I got my mac and cheese and my bread, I'll probably do like
just carbon it up, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go mashed potatoes. We're gonna stay carbon it up, but like mashed potatoes with a little cheese mixed in and like a little extra stuff in there, a little butter, a little cheese.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. My family makes like this corn pudding almost. It's like a God, I can't even like a corn casserole.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so good. I can't eat regular corn now. Like I'm like, if you're not making that, I'm not eat. I can't eat regular corn anymore.
Dude, that's how I am with like street corn. I tried street corn one. It was like some special kind of street corn, and now like I can't. Like if you just give me normal corn, it's not. I'm not
Yeah.
having it. I need them spices on it and the whatever's on there.
Was that? Oh, that was just 2. What's your third?
I got 3. I got the technically I seconded your sister Schubert rolls.
Oh, okay.
Any bread fixing.
Hmm.
So mac and cheese bread and then the mashed potatoes.
Okay. Man, that's kind of all I get on my plate. I eat like a 5-year-old, so it's tough for me to. But I get a lot of mac and cheese.
Yeah. No, I
We'll make
typically
that a lot.
I don't diversify that well. I just get like a stupid amount of one thing. I mean, dude, I'll eat like a full baguette for. I mean, I don't care. I just love
Ooh,
it.
fried okra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Love some okra.
Yeah. Traditional. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do that on like Christmas Eve with my family, but I also go over there for like stockings have always been like a big thing with my family. So Christmas Day we do stockings with my mom, dad, sister, wife, and her husband. And then we're making breakfast this year.
Oh, that's a power move.
Yeah. Biscuits
Breakfast.
and gravy, eggs, sausage. I mean, we're doing hash browns. My wife had to get the hash browns today. She went to 5 different stores to get the hash browns because they're sold out.
I'm such a breakfast guy, dude. Like cinnamon rolls, like
Oh yeah. I never eat breakfast anymore unless somebody's making something like that. Then I'm eating breakfast.
yeah. I don't think I'll ever give up on breakfast. I'm gonna be a breakfast for dinner kind of guy, like all the way through my.
For sure.
I hope I can.
Yeah, like when I work from home, I make eggs,
Yeah.
egg sandwiches.
Right, eggs, bacon.
Yeah,
pull out some Cinnamon Toast Crunch, a little cereal action. Just
there you go. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, got in the Christmas spirit. Let's what's trending? Let's get to this.
Yeah, I'll have mine. I don't know if you saw it, but I don't know your like your rap hip hop kind of like area, but Jay-Z went on some podcasts and those versus battles where they do like one versus another. He said nobody could like ever hold up against him, which kind of brought up the whole debate on Twitter. Like, could anybody? And if they could, who would it be? I was wondering who you think, unless you think Jay-Z is going to hold up or just outstand anybody, but if you think anybody's going to, who would it be?
Oh man. I mean, I'm sure Eminem has something for him.
That was most people's.
I'm trying to think of somebody I'd like to see. I think that'd be funny if Little Dicky got in there. Because I mean, is his songs great? No, they're kind of weird, but they're funny. And I think he does he has a good flow.
They are. I mean, that's a good point. I guess it depends on like, because I think part of it is supposed to be like hit for hit. I mean,
okay, they're going at each other.
Yeah, which is like
roasting each other.
Well, no, I think so. I think you go on and you like start like you play all your own songs, but I think it's like, okay, this iconic song, and then you got to answer, and it's like, okay, dude, that song's not even near this song. So like, who would match up? But dude, even people like Drake. I mean, Drake. Every song Drake drops seems to be like an absolute like.
Oh, it's a heater,
chart topper.
I mean, do I think he's just an incredible rapper? Probably not. But when it comes to songs and who he has featured,
right?
I mean, he's got to have more #1 hits than anybody this generation.
Yeah,
probably not even close.
I put him, and then I thought maybe in terms of like bars, if you're just going to go up there and embarrass each other with your songs, Lil Wayne, just because I mean he could pull out all of his just insane double entendre lines and just absolutely make him look. But also, I'm not like a huge Jay-Z guy. There's some people. I mean, that's just going to be one of those things that if you're from New York and you're just biased, I mean, you're gonna.
Yeah, Jay-Z's a bit overrated.
I'm personally on that boat. I mean, I don't think he's. I mean, he's got good talent, but I don't think he's that crazy. If we're talking about like straight, but you're right, Drake's got to be like, because he did win like influencer of the decade or rapper of the decade, whatever it was, musician of the decade. Because I mean, just he's got such an influence. Everything he drops, it's literally there's no misses really. So
Right.
I don't know.
I would like to see the baby in that. If they're just going at it bars for bars, that'd be funny too.
Yeah.
What's trending? I'm gonna go with the SEC, and kind of not in a good way.
Yeah.
You have Alabama in basketball looking rough, losing to Memphis and Dayton after being number 6 in the country. You have Georgia losing in basketball, losing to 2 former Tennessee assistant coaches in Kim English at George Mason and Des Oliver at ETSU. You have Missouri choked away their bowl game last night, going up with 1:11 left against a triple option offense and somehow losing that football game. They also botched the 2-point version that would have put them up 3, so the field goal would have only tied it. Had a wide open guy in the flat and just threw it over his head. So hate to see it. I mean, and then Bazelak, who didn't play in the bowl game, is now transferring. So a guy that's been their starting quarterback, been kind of that catalyst under Eli Drinkwitz is leaving. They have a top 10 recruiting class coming in, and just not a great look. Going 6-6. I mean, I know they signed Sam Horn from Collins Hill, big baseball guy as well. I don't know if he ends up playing baseball because he'll be the starting quarterback, but I think that was the thought that he was going to play both in college. He's going there, and then they got another, I think, wide receiver from East St. Louis, who is a 5-star. So 2 5-stars, top 10 recruiting class, and going into now it's 6-7 team with a bowl loss to Army is not where you want to be.
Yeah. That'd be pretty special if he was starting quarterback and was able to even make like semi-profound effect on the baseball team. That would be. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's basically.
I mean, I think he was. Jeremy Pruitt just wouldn't let those guys come over, but I heard from the assistant baseball coaches they wanted him here. The baseball team the football team just wouldn't. They coveted Ty Simpson so much, so when Ty Simpson went to Alabama, they're already too late to the party.
Right.
Yeah, they kind of did that with a lot of people. Yeah, now that staff's not even here, so whatever. And then A&M canceling their bowl game due to COVID and injuries. Apparently, they couldn't practice. Their starting quarterback, Zach Calzada, entered the transfer portal, so he's gone. Haynes King is hurt. I just think it's a team who didn't want to play in a bowl game. They got this top recruiting class coming in. They don't want to take the risk of losing any of them. They're just, hey, we'll take our losses this season. We choked away our chance of winning the West by beating Alabama and Auburn, and then, losing to everybody else in the West. Just not a – I'm just like, dude, how do you not have enough to even practice? That's where I'm like – I mean, if you don't have a quarterback, that's one thing. But we also went out there and played a team with Will McBride as our quarterback.
Right. I mean, you do what you got to do when it comes down to crunch time for end of season stuff. I mean,
we had Brian Maurer starting a couple games. He's now at Stephen F. Austin. We had nothing at the quarterback position. So I don't want to hear injuries. No, you just don't want to get embarrassed because you're not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a choke job from A&M. I just don't. I mean, they call themselves the 12th man. They don't have enough.
Bring a fan down. Sign a 1 week from the stands.
Yeah, Rick Barnes said he'd do it.
Yeah.
Where's your ball? Ball's in your court, Jimbo. I guess it's not anymore because you already canceled it. Rutgers, that finished 5-7, are now headed to the Gator Bowl, which is whatever. If you want to blame COVID on stuff, that's fine. But when you say it's COVID and injuries, and you're the school that's actually preventing it from happening, we'll sus.
Yeah. I only had that one what's trending, but my stupidity kind of ties into a what's trending at the same time. So
Okay.
but if you have any more what's trending, you can.
I got George Quarles being named the coach at new head coach at ETSU.
Yeah.
Former Maryville head coach, then went to Furman as the OC, and then now is headed to Johnson City, be the coach of the Bucks. Man, that's really cool because I think me and Caleb were talking about it when it was thought about, like, who was going to take over that job. It was a bunch of like guys that were at ETSU. It was guys from other places. I'm like, dude, the first person I'm calling, George Quarles, easy.
Yeah.
And it turns out that he was, the guy for the job, and accepted that. So good for him. Probably all the Maryville players will end up going to ETSU. It's gonna be a little hotbed, I'm sure, for some Maryville talent.
Yeah, I saw a couple ETSU kids reposting like claims that Jeff Fisher was interested in the job at ETSU. I was just like,
yeah, Jeff Fisher is our John Gruden.
Yeah. So I was like, it's kind of a curveball. I mean, go for it, but yeah, I think you're right. It's a good call.
Yep. I think that's all I got for. Let's go to stupidity.
Yeah. So mine's gonna be kind of. I don't really know who to put the blame on, but the whole notion that there fairly likely possibility that the college football championship, the champions crowned by a forfeit, like just the whole way that they're talking about that. Basically, we can get to a championship game, and like if there's COVID related issues, and like you don't pass the standard to play, like they're gonna crown. I don't know something. And I'm not part of the rules committee or whatever, so I don't decide based policy, so I don't know what you could do differently. But that just doesn't seem. I don't think anybody wants that. Obviously, they do with what they can, but like it just if we get all the way to a college football playoff and like 3 of the games aren't even played because COVID related issues, and like. Look at Georgia. Like Georgia's played a full season like this. Say like they have some COVID issues and like boom, like they take the loss, like whatever, and it's like Michigan, and then it's Alabama. Assuming Alabama beats Cincinnati, it's what position does that leave you in? Georgia just forfeits their semifinal and championship game when they played like a great season. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's getting weird because it just seems like there was no issue up until like now.
Right.
And I don't know if it has to do with cold weather. I don't know if it has to do with a different strand. I don't watch too much of the news because I don't know. I'd just rather watch something else. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm just hoping we get football in. It seems like it's taking a toll on the NFL. And it looks like it's starting to with college basketball, college football. Oh man, I just can't take another like that year we didn't have like sports. That was the worst year ever.
I think them already announcing college or March Madness would have no fans was bad. But I remember I was on the golf course with my buddies when they announced that they were canceling March Madness, and I think part of my soul died. I literally was like, "You're kidding!" Like I can't do that again. I can't go through that. And that's just my heart isn't set for that kind of heartbreak again. I can't do it.
100%. I got Yahoo Sports, and this has to do kind of with Tennessee, a former VFL. It says Browns wave punter Jamie Gillen, hand job to Dustin Colquitt. That was the name of the article. I'm like, youch.
That's a did he like just not revise that at all, or like
I don't know. It was out there. Screenshots live forever. They might have fixed it, but yeah, not a. Congrats to Dustin. Either way, however it turned out for him.
Yeah, he's winning either way, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But I don't think whoever wrote that's winning. I'm sure they're on the hot seat at the column.
Yep. Any more stupidities?
I didn't have any. Just a
I got PFF college football. Can South Carolina win the SEC East in 2022 with Spencer Rattler? That was the question.
Wait, PFF said something stupid? What? I don't even regard that stuff anymore. I'm just like, okay.
Oh my god.
Like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's talk about it. It's topic food for thought.
If South Carolina can win the SEC East, so can Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Why not, right?
I mean, what a trash. Oh my god. I mean, that's just clickbait. Please don't click on any of that stuff. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Then I got Jeff Goodman tweeting out his updated Goodman Top 25. He has Tennessee at 21 after beating Arizona. Arizona's at number 9.
See, and like you need, okay, fine. I want that guy to show me 20 teams in college basketball right now that if you play Tennessee, you're fairly confident, over 50% confident that they're going to beat them, because that's how you should judge it.
Colorado State, no. Providence, no. Texas Tech is above us, but man, we should have won the game. So dumb.
They're not, dude. I'm sorry, but Texas Tech gets in any like actual situational game that they need to win, they're not winning.
No.
They played awful against us. They didn't even look. We just looked even worse. I mean, we went
right.
We no.
Yeah, just not great. Whatever. That's all I got for stupidity.
Yeah, same here.
Cool. Well, everybody, have a good Christmas. We will see you back on Sunday. Hopefully Caleb's out of traffic by then. Yeah, we'll have plenty of stuff to talk about. We'll break down. Yeah, because Thursday, we'll break down the Purdue game, the bowl game, break down Alabama, and then we'll have plans for one of those days, I guess, to do another show, because Wednesday we have the basketball game, Thursday we have the football game. So we'll see what we can come up with. But that's all we got. Thanks for listening. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.